Nice.
Little effort on my part. It's like turning a bus with Bill.
For a guy my size, a move like Labai definitely has its advantages.
Good. There you go. Ooh.
Feels good. It's a real leverage move, which, with my history of wrestling, could work for me.
Oh. Here. Oh. Can you feel that? Boom. Boom. Boom.
After several hours of practice, Grandmaster Bonifacio Ui gives us some key advice.
When you're hitting, don't dance. Don't dance. This is not dance studio. This is martial arts studio.
Eskrima isn't just flashy stick work. It's about power.
When you're hitting, you have to follow through. Now when you hit and do not follow through, then the strike is not as powerful as when you follow through.
So don't dance, follow through.
Nice. Nice. Nice, nice.
I splintered it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Look at that.
Splintering a rattan training stick is one thing. Stepping into a fighting pit with a trained Escrimador is another.
Now, we're headed to the rice paddies to learn a move that dates back before Magellan. One that might give us an edge against Percival Poblete. The Spanish fleets that followed Magellan brought with them Catholicism. But the Philippines have always been a melting pot of Asian religions too.
Which is why one of the main monuments of Cebu City is this Taoist temple. Built to commemorate the teachings of legendary Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. It's also where we're going to learn a combination attack from Eskrima Grandmaster Joe Borsis.
He makes it look so smooth. That looks incredibly painful.
It's basically using his momentum and his joints against him every time.
Behind the head, tosses him. That's sweet. I like throwing people with sticks. Grandmaster Joe had a move that would make the most of our limited stick skills. One that combined defense and offense. So he disarmed him, and then he was able to throw him too.
Right.
This move begins with the Escrimador grabbing his opponent's attacking arm. He then strikes his opponent hard across the midsection before disarming him with a wrist strike. Then finishing him with a good blow to the head. For good measure, Grandmaster Joe flips his man too. Can you just do the first part only to the disarm? One, two, three. So that's the disarm. 3 steps to it. 1. Strike, disarm, strike.
By using the twisting motion of the torso to drive the strike, the business end of the hardwood fighting stick can quickly accelerate to more than 25 miles per hour. On contact with the skull, the energy is enough to cause a depressed fracture. It's the same injury-producing force as being hit in the temple by a hammer.
Get on the thumb, turn it, strike, and here.
Disarm, strike.
Strike. This one.
Okay.
Once you strike the wrist, he has no choice but to let go, because you're basically shattering a bone. So it's wham! He lets go, and then he's at your disposal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've had some Eskrima training, but this is masterclass level. And there was still so much to learn if I wanted to be ready to take on Percival Poblete. One day I hope to be half as good as that. Thank you.
Thank you, Grandmaster.
If we hope to stand a chance in the ring, we needed to learn the very foundations of Eskrima. And to do that, we need to head to the country.
Perfect.
Look at this thing.
Maybe hop in the back. For the first part of our journey, we hopped in a jeepney. Brought to the Philippines by the U.S. military, these 1960s vintage Jeeps have been heavily modified and even turned into public transportation.
know what? This has to be the weirdest vehicle I've ever been in.
This is like Jerry Garcia's personal limo.
We eventually arrived at Port Cebu. From there, it was an outrigger ride to Negros Occidental. It's home to an ancient art many believe is the forerunner to modern Eskrima. It's called Kali.
At a farm near the base of the Manalaga Mountains, we met up with Leo Gahe.
Hi, I'm Bill, Grand Tuhan.
Known to his students as Grand Tuhan,
Welcome.
Leo is the world's leading practitioner of Kali. Because this ancient form of Eskrima was practiced in open fields, he led us into some nearby rice paddies. There, we warmed up with an ancient form of spear throwing.
Run!
Developed centuries ago by local boar hunters, this is a wicked test of both balance and endurance.
Go back, come on, go back. Woo! Hang on! Head start! That's a head start! Keep running, Bill!
Run! Every time you put your leg in the mud, pull it back out, you feel that weight. It's kind of like pulling a sled on the football field. Resistance training. It's really hard work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Next, Grand Tuhan had us work on our upper bodies by striking at the water.
Go! Hit up! Hit it hard!
First with our bamboo spears,
Hard! Hit it hard! Come on! Come on! Hit it hard! Go! Hit hard!
then with bastons.
Hit the water! Hit the water!
I can see where Kali came from. 100 years ago, chasing your enemy through a rice paddy, smashing his head in with a stick. I mean, it's a direct relation to Eskrima.
Yeah, and talk about footwork. If your footwork is good when you're in 8 inches of mud, you can maneuver some footwork when you're on land.
And these same Kali techniques we were practicing could have helped create modern Eskrima. Shortly after Magellan's death in 1521, Spanish conquistadors returned with more men and better weapons and defeated the local warriors. The Spanish installed Catholicism as a state religion and outlawed all indigenous martial arts.
Forced to go underground, local warriors incorporated their training methods into a variety of ceremonial rituals. They convinced the Spaniards these rituals were tribal dances, which they called Kali. In reality, these so-called dances were tightly choreographed sparring sessions designed to replicate real fight scenarios.
When the Spanish caught on, the Kali masters took their training out of the towns and into the rice paddies. But they didn't just take on mud. They even began battling the local livestock, which led to one of the most dangerous forms of training in all of martial arts.
It's a system of wrestling maneuvers that often results in broken arms, legs, and even necks. If you're a purist like Grand Tuhan, you train the same way your ancestors did, using a 1,600-pound water buffalo as your sparring partner.
How does a 1,600-pound water buffalo help with your Kali?
If you can take down the 4-feet guy, you know, I mean, these